So the subject is actually divided into two parts, and we actually use the example of the master communicator, Jesus Christ, and to guide us on our journey towards love and kindness, because those are the two most effective tools for communication. The two units are promote team effectiveness, and that's to understand and to coordinate how as individuals and as a team we can work together, and using targeted communication skills to build relationships. And that's to help us understand the dynamics between people. How does it happen? You know, how come there are times we can wake up in the morning, look at each other and go, what makes that happen? And there are other days we wake up and we go, woohoo, aren't you gorgeous? Or you might just want to go into your own shell and I don't want to be a part of the world today. So what makes that happen? What are those dynamics? How come you might look at somebody and for some reason you don't like the look of them? There might be something about their body language, there might be chemistry of the day, and there are times when we get together, we don't know what goes on in each other's persona, and we make judgments, and we look at each other and think, they don't like me. And that may have nothing to do with the truth. That might be simply that they're not feeling well, they've got a grumpy look on their face, but we've made a judgment on who they are and what they are. And they do the same thing to us. So what makes that happen? Also, how to recognise what is happening. Am I taking something on board that I shouldn't? Or are they just having a bad day? I don't know what happened to them last night. They may have had an argument with their partner, perhaps their dogs died. Who knows, you know? But we're so quick sometimes to look at people, make judgments, and it has nothing to do with the truth. It's not about us. It's just about what's happening in their world, perhaps. And how to bring resolution with the aim for each person to win. You know, we're all different. And Jesus wants us to accept each other. He made us. He made us with all our colours, and he loves us. And he loves us. He's died for us. And he's died for us so that we can actually come together and love each other. We don't have to like each other every moment, but just to accept who we are, who another person is, and how we come together can make such a difference to our world. So the course is done in 2 units over 12 weeks, and we give information, and then we help encourage and support working with your church and reaching out to others. And through daily journaling, we encourage to observe and listen to our self-talk without judgment. I don't know about you, but there are times I catch myself having a conversation and making a judgment about somebody else and thinking, hang on a minute, I'll give you an example. I do school crossing, and bearing in mind that my mother's French and my father's Romanian and come from very different backgrounds, there I am at the crossing, and there's these Indian people, and I catch myself with a racial thought, thinking, oh, they're Indian, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, hang on a minute, what are you doing, girl? Why are you having that conversation? It's just that they were different to me at that point in time, but I had to catch myself. And after that I stopped. I thought, that's not okay. I need to think differently. That person is just like me, but they're just a different different country or whatever it was. So, the PowerPoint presentation, there's a lot more to it, but if I speak it, I'll go way over time. and if I deliver it, you'll fall asleep. So rather than do that, I'll just people talk. I need to be kept on time because I don't have a very good time meter. Right. Okay. A little bit about my background. Mum's French, Dad's Romanian. They didn't know each other. They had no language, no common language, and both very artistic. But my dad loved people. He loved to communicate, and he loved to talk to people. But my mum, she was very artistic, and when they came here, they both spoke in a way. However, they had accents, and they came here with a willingness. I mean, Australia. I'm Australian, I forgot. They came here, but they came to Australia because they wanted a good life. They wanted a good life for their children, and they worked hard and they considered themselves Australian. But every time they opened their mouth, there was an accent, and so they were considered new Australians, even though they may have been there for 30, 40, 50 years. And it was something that really affected them. And for my mother, she wouldn't speak because it was so obvious, her accent. She didn't talk to people or want to talk to people. You know, they were running a business, but she wouldn't pick up the phone because she was so conscious of her accent. I was an only child, so I was taught to be seen and not heard. And I learnt to, and one day they took me to the ballet and bingo, that was it. I wanted to be a ballet dancer, so they sent me to a ballet school. I was fortunate enough to go to a really good ballet school. I went overseas, I became a professional dancer, I travelled the world, came back to Australia, which was fantastic. But the thing was, I got trained to be obedient. I got trained to be very quick to copy, you know, dance and move. I got trained to do what I needed to do to move forward for myself, yeah? So later I joined the family business. I became a production engineer. That's totally different. Okay. And I studied to excel so that I could fit into a man's world, because I was a woman going into a man's world. In the course I did, there were 150 students, 2 of us were female, 85 passed, and we were amongst the 2 females got through 100%, which was great. But the thing is, what did I know about people skills? As a dancer, I was taught to follow, I was taught to express in a highly competitive environment, to work with others for myself, for my own advancement. But what about others? What did I know about other people? How would I be able to convey effectively and to get others to do what I wanted them to do? I thought that if I went out and got a course under my belt, that all the men would jump up and down and do exactly what I wanted when I asked them to do that. Well, I'll just show you how effective I was. As I tell you this story, by that time I had already qualified as a production engineer. I was running a production floor, I was running machines and doing maintenance. Now when I talk about machines, I'm talking the width of my arms, height, and possibly 20 to 21 feet. We're talking big machines. And I used to change moulds. We used to change moulds. Moulds were basically production tools that are made to, they're like, think of them as cubes, stainless steel cubes, and whenever you had to change the machine, you had and change the product, and you took the mold out of the machine, you moved it, you put it on the ground, okay, and then you did whatever else you did. Well, this particular day we needed to have a very fast production change, so I got one of the apprentices. Come here, Johnny, need your help. Get up on the machine. Right. Well, I could see that he was actually quite hesitant. But you know, as a dancer, you get on with things. What's, you know, you got a problem? That's your problem, sort it out. Otherwise, you know, you're in a lineup, you've got to do what you're told. So that was the attitude I had. Okay, Johnny. But what I noticed was he was getting more and more hesitant. I did show him how to get on the machine, because you actually had to step up to get on it. Oh, that's not working well. Oh, no. Yes. And so I asked him to get on the machine. Okay, Johnny, up you get. And there wasn't much movement. And he froze. So the more he froze, the more my voice raised, you know. And in the end, the boss came in and said, what's happening here? Well, nothing much was happening, was it? Because I was very ineffective and I didn't know how to get him to do what needed to be done to help me. So, where am I? Yeah.
What happened? What happened? Why was he hesitant? Yeah.
Because he was scared.
Well, he didn't know what was happening there.
Well, that was my fault, wasn't it? As a manager, I should have known better, but I was never trained as a manager. What I was trained as was I was trained to do the job. I was trained to do what I was told, but I never got the skills. It's a great question. I was never trained to be a communicator. I was trained to go out there, do my thing, do it to the best of my ability to satisfy whoever, whether it be a company or whether it be, you know, going to a job. Perhaps other people are more astute to what, you know, to what I have been when it comes to being with people and communicating effectively. And that's why I think this is really amazing that I'm standing here actually delivering this subject, because in the process God has taken me through the journey of how to become more effective at communication. But I'm still learning and I have a long way to go. So in this subject, we actually we learn how to communicate together as individuals. So we go from being self-centered to being other-centered. How's that person? The person that I'm looking at, how can I serve them? Like washing the feet. How can we look after those people? If I want them to do something, it's not how can I get them to see the point of view that I'm in? And so we use Jesus Christ as our role model, our facilitator, and our mediator. And I have a question. Who was your role model? Turn to somebody and just share. Think about it. Who was a role model for you as you grew up? some more questions. Was discussion geared towards each person winning, or was one person winning no matter the cost when you heard a discussion between others?
Can you use the microphone?
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'll say that again. When you're at home, was discussion geared towards each person winning, or one person winning no matter what the cost? Yeah. I'll try and say it a little differently, okay? So, when you hear somebody having a discussion and they're not agreeing, do you hear both people trying to work it out together, or do you hear that there's the one person who wants to say, no, I'm right, you're wrong? Yeah. More questions. Do you speak more? Do you listen more? Or while a person's talking, do you think about what you're going to say next? How do you place value on people? How do you place value on people? How much time do you give people in a conversation? Do you give people any time? Or is life too busy? Have you had previous conversation training? Communication training, not conversation training. I'm sure as women we can all talk. Communication training. Yes. Have you had communication training? Now these are some of the questions and more that are answered in working effectively with others. So as we aim to be a bridge from the church into the world, with better and wise communication as individuals and through teamwork, we can work together to be more effective, to encourage one another in love and truth, to bring freedom and healing from hurt and pain, in order to bring the joy of Jesus Christ and his indescribable peace with the help of the Holy Spirit. And I thank you.